Hey guys, Ramblin Bob here again. So I wanted to give an update on the E600LFP, the small one up here. Every time well, let me tilt this up just a hair here. Every time I figure out something new or have new information or learn something, I always want to make a video of it, not only for the viewers, but for me too, so I can go back and remember what I learned. Because, boy, you can learn a lot in this solar stuff. It's very, very confusing and frustrating to try to remember everything in life. With solar, because all the little numbers and nooks and crannies and cables and what works and what doesn't, positive, negative polarity. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the cool thing. Notice I have on this one, everybody knows that I have 60 volts, okay, which is 6 100 watt panels, the Harbor Freight ones. I like those, the cheapy panels on this run, and I get normally about 500 and something per day, not per day, per hour. And then this one is 800 watts of Acopower 200 watt panels. I love them because they're black, but the output power just isn't good for what I consider fair. But those are one of the first panels that I bought. I like the way they look because they're all black and they fit on the vehicle perfectly. So, you know, sometimes you have to go with you know, what you don't want to because it fits or works with your system, and that's one of the drawbacks of solar. And there's so many configurations that you have to figure out and find out what you want and what you need. Okay, so back to this. I'm going to turn. Actually, I'm going to leave this off. I wanted to explain one thing that I learned about the charging of the solar. This is kind of a nuisance, but it's not bad. Oh, I got a little bit of a. Oh, there. Okay, fix it. Okay. I like to try to keep the power stations clean, guys. If you keep the dust out of there, then they obviously work better and they last longer. So this one here, I have hooked to a 200 watt Acopower single panel, and it's coming in at about, as you can see, 20.68 or 20.69. Hopefully you can see that. If you can't, I'll read it for you. And then that's through MC4s into the 5-pin aviation, which is nicely the same exact pin I use on the E2000LFP as for the E600LFP. So that's very nice. Pecron, I like that you kept that, so you can hot swap them. This is 32 to 95. This is 32 to 95. Awesome. You just hot swap them whenever you need to. You know, you turn off the thing, hot swap it, and well, not hot swap it, but you turn off your breaker, you put off your switch, you put this one in that one, and boom, you keep going. So this one's hot now, okay, but it's a very low voltage one. It's like 20, I think it's a 23 or 24 volt panel. It's just a little single 200 watt. But I want to plug this in, guys, and I want to show you what happens if the voltage is not strong enough to get this thing started, or if it's not strong enough to get the panel to start producing amps and electricity to flow through the lines. I just want to show you this because I learned this recently, and I thought something was wrong with it, but it's not. Okay, so normally when you plug it in, you'll see the system, it'll turn on right away, okay? But notice it didn't turn on, guys. But you hear that? You hear all that in there? The fans are really kicking, and why it's doing that, I don't know. But what I learned is when the voltage, see how it's flickering? See that 17, 14? It's not enough to activate the MPPT controller. I believe that's the answer. So notice that the system does not turn on. And if you turn the system on, let's turn on the AC real quick. Hopefully it's high enough where you can see that. I apologize. It's not. There, it should be high enough. Now, notice it's 69%. 0 watts coming out and 0 watts coming in. So when your system drops down, either your panels or your input drops down to too low, the fans turn on right away. And I think that's maybe just a safety thing because voltage is going through, but not going through to the battery. So it's doing that just to kind of keep the system safe, I think. I don't know. This is kind of like the same noise, if you guys remember the Oukitels. They used to beep. They go click, beep, like that when the voltage was too low. So I think that's Pecron's version, if you will, from this system of the same thing. It's not ready to go yet. So notice that when I unplug this, see the fans instantly stop. You see how quiet it got? Here's the wire, and then obviously it's very quiet, right? So I just wanted to let you guys have that little bit of information. Normally this starts going at about, you know, 23, something like that, or something. I don't know, like 22 and a half or 23, something like that it starts. But it is horrible out there right now, because notice, other than charging this, which is the GoPro camera that I'm using, if I turn off that, you'll see that I have 1400 watts of solar coming in on this system. And look, guys, I'm getting 2 watts. That's how bad the weather is right now out there. It's raining. Old man winter is coming, and they call him Old Man Winter for a reason, because he's a pain in the butt. But look at that, guys. 1400 watts of solar coming in, and I'm getting 200. So imagine buying 1400 watts of, oh, I got 3. Look at that. Woohoo! Imagine buying 1400 watts of solar and only receiving 2 watts. Oh boy, you'd be mad. You'd be mad. But very, very simple. Now let's see if, now remember, these ones are 48 volts, and this is 60 volts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the 48, and we're gonna turn this off, and we're gonna attempt, let me click this, okay? And we're gonna open this and put the 5-pin aviation in there, and then click it on at the same time. Okay, now notice that turned on, guys, right? That turned on. You might not get any power, but the system recognized it and said, okay, and it activated the system. And notice, guys, no fan. So that's a thing that if you buy the system, or you have it and you didn't quite understand why the fans come on so much, I think that's a safety thing. Here, I'll put this back in here because obviously it's not going to do any good now. And then this is a 60. Oh, that's the one I got my 3 watts from. Yippee-doo. And then this is 600 watts of Harbor Freights, and I'll put that in there. And this is coming in at 60 volts. And notice, guys, it turned on right away. So that's 2 tests back to back of 2 different voltages, 48 and 60. And that way you know that obviously that must be true, because this one didn't make noise and this didn't make noise. And as soon as these panels are not a voltage of what they're spec'd for, like if this drops under that 40 some volts, then obviously that would do the same with this system as well. And then same as the 60 volts, if that drops down too low, it'll do that as well. So I'll take the 60 volt out and I'll put it back in here, okay? And then I'll take, this is that 200 watt single panel. Now remember, it's coming in at only 20.7, and if you plug it in now, listen closely, okay? There go your fans again. See that? And they're blowing, guys. It's like 100% fan. Both of those little fans are there. They're whipping. I'm telling you, they're whipping. But so I just wanted to give that little bit of information. Hopefully, this little bit of knowledge also helps you in your journey of solar power and learning. I'm not a professional, as everybody knows. I'm just a guy that has a passionate love for this industry. I want to work with all of these systems. I just learn everything I can, because when you have a hobby and you really, really enjoy your hobby, boy, it doesn't matter about how long you spend or how long you ramble about it. You enjoy what you do. So that way the hours go by, you know, like these videos are so long because obviously there's a reason. I really enjoy the solar power. All right, guys, ramble on, be safe. If you hear the fans kick on, that's what it is. So I wouldn't worry. This has been doing this now for a week and a half. Only because I hooked a panel to it all the time now just to do some more testing. Oh, look at this. I got 1400 watts, and I got 4. Yeah, buddy. At this rate, I think it'll be Christmas by the time this reaches a good number, like 1,000. So, all right, guys. Oh, and then one more thing. See how this has dropped down to 13%, guys? Try not to go less than that. Because it's rough on the battery cells, guys. I missed it this morning. It was such bad weather all day from like 8 a.m. forward that the last 10 or 15% of over 20 watts. I'm sorry, 10 or 15% over. When it got down to about 30 or 35% is usually when I start charging in the morning. And this, because of the weather, dropped it down even further. So try to stay at the absolute least. Try not to go under 10%. Leave a little bit of reserve. There is already reserve in the battery cells of 10% or so, but you want to keep an extra just in case. If you have to use it, by all means, run this all the way down to nothing. If you have an emergency, you have an emergency. You know, I'd rather have power than something bad happen. But all right, guys, ramble on, be safe. If you have any knowledge or anything of these things, feel free to join the subscriber family. Comment on the videos, like and subscribe. If you have knowledge that we don't have, let's team up together, guys, and learn this all safely together as a team. That's awesome. That's why we call it the subscriber family. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Ramble on, be safe. Bye, guys.